Hey everyone, Saints fan back again with another GTA 5 video, and today what I want to do is share my clubhouse garage with you guys. This is going to be a little mini garage tour just of the clubhouse because I've done numerous garage tours going over all of my cars and all of my garages in the past, and not much has really changed. There might have been one or two extra cars, but until maybe the next DLC that adds a bunch of cars, I'm not going to do an updated garage tour because if you've seen my last garage tour, you basically have seen all of my cars. And speaking of that, I'll actually link it in the description if you do maybe like my style and want to check out some of my other cars. I'm not going to lie, and I mean, I would hope that you guys agree with me that these cars, or these bikes at least that I have, because that's what you're seeing, they look good. That's my goal in this game, is to make these vehicles, to make these cars look as good as possible in my eyes. I know obviously everything is subjective, but I would like to think the majority of people out there will enjoy some of my creations and customizations. But getting back to the clubhouse garage, this obviously was recently added, or about a month ago. So what I want to do is just share the 10 that I have. Now, because the lighting in here is not that great, I'll bring them into the little customization shop over there so you can see them better. But quickly, just going through the list, we have the Shih Tzu Hakachu Drag, the LSCC Sanctus, Pegassi Batty 801, the Pegassi Vortex, the Nagasaki Street Blazer, the Faggio Mod, the Dinka Akuma, the Pegassi SKey, the Western Nightblade, and the Nagasaki Shotaro. So we'll hop into this one first. Now, the reason this bike is my favorite out of all of the bikes that came out with this DLC, obviously there's the performance and all that, but I love the way this looks. I love these three different colors here. If you're a fan of me, or if you just know a little bit about me, I live in Louisiana. LSU is one of my favorite teams, football teams. I went to school there, so purple and gold, that's their colors. That's some colors that I really like. And this purple might not be like 100% the purple they use, but I love, and I believe that's a crew purple. I love that purple matched with the two different kinds of rims. We got the white walls in the back, and then the yellow rims in the front. And then just to tie it all in, this like smooth, I don't even know what to call it, but this gray livery is probably one of my favorite liveries in the game. Apart from maybe that Sultan livery that makes it look like the Asimov. But this livery, I love the way it looks because it doesn't make it look too crazy. It just, I don't know, it's got like a marbly effect, and I really love the way it came out. Apart from that, though, other customization, I'm not going to go through like the body work and all that because I don't think that, they'll be here for like 30 minutes if that was the case. But yeah, I can't see any major customization. But this one, there's a reason why it is my favorite bike. All right, next up, we have the LSCC Sanctus. This one, what I tried to go for here is a simple theme, just white and red. I don't know if you can tell, but I actually chose I think it's like the ghostly flames underneath that because those were white too, and I just thought it looked pretty cool. As for the primary color, I went with a Garnet red, actually. Let's see. I went with, yeah, or a Grace red because it's a little darker. I didn't change anything at all really when it came to the regular customization that you can do, just because I paid $2 million for this bike, so I'm gonna, you know, keep on all the unique stuff that Rockstar provided. And I don't know, just red and white I felt like was a pretty great color scheme for this bike. Now, longtime viewers on my channel probably know a little bit about this Batty 801. So originally it was blue and yellow, which I don't believe they were modded crew colors. I think it was just regular like ultra blue and yellow, and I called it the Charger. And that's something I actually haven't done in a while. I haven't named any of my cars or bikes. I need to get back into that. But anyway, as you can see, I changed it up a little bit. So, fun little fact, my high school colors were crimson and gold. So that's kind of what I was going for with this bike. We got a candy red for the secondary and for the rims with a cream pearlescent over it. And then for the primary, we have a bleached brown, I believe, because I was going for that red and gold look. And I know that's not technically gold. It's maybe like a super light gold, but I really like the way it came out. I really like the way these colors blend together. And I guess if you wanted to, if you're trying to stretch it out a little bit, you could even call this maybe an Iron Man bike, because I know his colors are similar. But I don't know. I really like the way it came out. And then the rims. I love how you can have two different kinds of rims on bikes, so I'll take advantage of that. most of the time, and I have the white walls on them just to give it some extra color. Okay, so the Vortex, this one unfortunately is not that practical. Like, I don't really use it that often in free mode, but I love the way it looks and I love this livery. This one is my Asimov bike, because I have the Asimov car in the Sultan, and now we have the Asimov bike, which is basically just black, white, and orange. But I really like the way this one came out. You can see we got black in the front, orange in the back, white on the rims with the two different color or two different kinds of rims. I always like that. And then we have the somewhat white on the engine. I believe that's the It's Lit option. But yeah, I really like this one. You got the alien up front. I don't really use it that much in free mode. I like to collect cars, and I like to have cool looking bikes and cool looking cars, and this one is definitely one of the cooler ones, so that's why it's in here. And then the last one we have on this row is the Blazer, the four-wheeler. This one I was going for just a nice and simple color tone. You got the purple and the white. I love the way those colors look together. As for customization, I did go kind of all out with the customization, because you can see I got the purple over the tires, up here in the front, like the bars. We got the bars in the back there. You got the even where your feet go. So I did trick it out a little bit. But again, going back to the Vortex, I gotta have cars and vehicles and bikes that look good, and this definitely looks good. Moving along, starting the other side, we have the Faggio mod. I feel like you gotta have a Faggio at this point, and I would much rather the mod over the sport, because they still suck, right? The sport doesn't make it, that much better, so it's still a Faggio, and you might as well get the one that has the most customization. Now this one is kind of a hard bike to look good, or to make look good. I kind of struck a balance here between goofy looking and also not bad looking. I mean, you can see we got the black is the primary. I have the Britain flag on the gas tank, I believe, and that's actually the only livery, and it's kind of rusted down because I like the way the rusted looks, if that makes any sense. As for the secondary, we have red. You can see that shows up actually underneath the rusted look, also on the seat, and then up here in the front. And then for the rims, I have red to match that with white walls, just to add some extra white to this. You can see I have the blue for the little half mirror or half windshield. And then just to, it's the Faggio mod. They gave you the option. I got all these pretty crazy customization options. We got a bunch of freaking lights up here. It's a bike that I'll, rarely ever use unless everyone else, in the lobby is using them. But I don't know. I feel like it's not bad for what it is. This one is the Waterballon. So this is the one that I'll probably never change. Although I did change it a little bit. So before, I'll go ahead and show you guys how it looked before. Because the green on the primary, that is actually a crew color, and I have no idea what modded crew color it is. Like, I really don't remember. I don't know if that's just an electric green or whatever the case may be, but it's there. So I'm not going to change it because then I'll lose it. But originally, I had hot pink for the secondary too, which you can see it just became green and pink. But I almost like having white as the secondary a little bit more, because then you get the green, the white, and the pink, because you can see the pink is on the rims. The front rim used to be one of the older ones. I just made it one of the newer ones. But apart from that, this is the Waterballon bike, and it's always going to have a special place in my heart. So we got three more, and this one is the SKey. This is the one that recently just came out. This was probably good for like off-road use. Although I do kind of want to get a Manchez just for the fact that you can basically wheelie endlessly on them, and I kind of like that feature, but I don't know if I want to spend that money just for that. I believe that's just a matte blue with a white pearlescent, it looks like, and then yellow on the secondary, on the rims, and the yellow on the livery. They all blend really nicely, and one thing that I like on these newer bikes, they do have these liveries, and most of them on most of the bikes, in my opinion, don't look that great. But every now and then you get something like this where it blends perfectly and the colors match. Despite this bike's performance not being as great as some of the other bikes, I like the way it looks. And ultimately, that's kind of what matters to me the most. So this one, the Nightbleed, this is the bike that I was just saying how it doesn't match. Like, look, it might be a little hard to tell, but look at where my foot is on the bike. You can see On the frame, that's a darker yellow than the yellow that's a little bit in front of the frame, like where the livery would be. And I don't know why it's so hard for Rockstar to make colors match. It's LSU colors, purple and gold. This one is a bit of a darker purple. We get the yellow. I really like the way the yellow sort of outlines this bike, and then we got the yellow on the rims. No, I actually decided to go for the same rim on this one because these rims in particular, you can see the yellow actually goes on the rims and not just around it. I know a lot of people have the Zombie Bobber or the Zombie Chopper or the Avaris or the Wolfsbane, but I like this one because of its sort of like sleek looks. It's got some decent customization. I mean, just small things that some of the other bikes don't have, and it's the fastest one out of all of them. So not only does it have the looks, it's got the performance. That's why it is my sort of cruising bike. And then last but not least, we have the Shotaro. Now this one, I don't know, I kind of go back and forth between what I want. I almost need to buy two. I'm not gonna buy two because that's a lot of money, but I almost need to buy two just to have the two different kinds, because I always want one that has a secondary that does light up, and I'll go outside and hopefully it's nighttime so you can see. But then I also want one that isn't like this, with the mud guards and stuff removed, with the tire part removed, and then maybe chrome on the secondary so it doesn't shine. And I had that originally, but then I decided to go back to a colored version, and this is a real simple one. So it's a white primary with, I believe, a diamond blue pearlescent, and then let me check the color for the secondary. It is a gasoline green, and I like the way those colors blend. I love gasoline green, but by itself. So, having it on this bike, I think looks really nice. And then combining it with that diamond blue, you get a little bit of an extra blue in there. So it's not super dark, as you can see. The sun just set. But the reason why I like the gasoline green is because at nighttime, it's not super bright. Yes, it does shine, as you can see, but it's not like blinding like some of the other colors in the game. So that's why I like it, and it goes well with the white. All right, so yeah, that is my garage. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, please drop it a like. The one thing you'll notice is I have a lot more sport bikes and stuff than maybe some other people. I'm sure a lot of people like the Zombie Bobber or the Chopper or the Avaris, and they probably have a lot more of those. But I didn't feel like it was worth buying for me, because as cool as they look, they're just not practical, really. And I mean, I'm not a huge biker guy, so I'm not gonna waste the money on those. Like I said, with the Nightblade here, if I wanted a bike similar to those, I'll just use this and still have that performance. But anyway, that is it with the video. Thank you all for watching. If you want, you can tweet me some of your favorite bike customization pictures on Twitter, because I'm always interested to see what other people do to their vehicles. But as always, I will see you guys in the next one.